Welcome. This is Scorecard on Citi TV, the show that looks back on all of the weekend's sports in action. And this weekend has been incredible indeed. In the Ghana Premier League, Kotoko inched a step closer to winning the Ghana Premier League title with victory over their rivals Hearts of Oak. In England, Man United and Arsenal's bids for Champions League football next season took major setbacks, but Chelsea bounced back and Liverpool and Man City ensured the Premier League title will go down straight to the wire. In Italy, similar stories. Inter Milan kept pace with AC Milan. Bayern Munich could win the title next weekend if they can win and Dortmund lose. That was based on the results from the last weekend. In Spain, Atletico Madrid were beaten by Baba Idris's Real Mallorca, but Real Madrid are closing in on the La Liga title as well. We'll take you around the globe, bring you some boxing, where Emmanuel Gameboy Tegu's bid for a major title took a big setback after Ryan Garcia dominated before beating him in their lightweight title fight. There's also F1. The Australian Open returned for the first time in 3 years, and Charles Leclerc extended his lead at the top of the championship. All to come in the next 90 minutes here on the show. It's live and interactive, so you can get in touch with us using our social media handles and on WhatsApp as well. Send me a message. Let me know what you make of all of the weekend sport in action. The number is on your screen. +233 550 585 Alternatively, and preferably, leave me a message on Twitter using the hashtag Scorecard. We'll take a short break. When we return, I'll introduce my enviable guest and we can start showing you some highlights. Welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. My name is Fentio Tahir Fentio. The show is live from across the globe on DSTV channel 363, Go TV channel 182 as well. So, like I said, from wherever you've joined us, welcome to the show. All right, over the next 90 minutes, we'll be putting perspective on all of the weekend sports in action. I've got just the right man for it. Coach Christopher Nimley, CAF licensed coach, chemistry teacher, and a comedian by day.
This man.
Today,
this man, you have just introduced me as Coach Christopher Nimley.
That's what I just did. I said Coach Christopher Nimley,
You didn't
a CAF licensed coach.
No, there wasn't a need for that.
Are you a CAF licensed coach or not?
I am. But
Thank you. So what is your problem?
It's better you put all my coaching badges out there. Because I'm not only a CAF licensed coach, I'm also
a US soccer licensed coach.
A Canadian. You don't want to do that. So just introduce me as Coach Christopher Nimley. That is silly.
Coach Christopher Nimley.
Yes.
The man always with a tactical perspective on all of our issues here. Coach.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm so excited. In a long while, finally there was a roadshow today.
There was.
Charlie, look. This is one of the best I have seen.
Yeah.
Because, look, you could clearly see that people indeed have missed us.
They have.
They've missed the roadshow.
They have.
And if you look at the manner in which you had some very distinguished big men show up for the program, beautiful ladies all over the place. I'm extremely excited.
Yeah.
And for me, the football exhibited on the day to completely
match the atmosphere. And it kind of made up for your sorrows of Saturday. But we'll get back to that.
My sorrows for Saturday.
Why? You didn't hear me.
You see?
Daniel Cranton.
You will come there, don't worry.
The Arsenal fans' favorite person. He's got a very interesting love-hate relationship with Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. Today he's coming his Thomas Partey jersey. Daniel, how are you doing?
I'm very good. I'm just a bit sad that this week Partey was ruled out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I wanted to see his shoe to the end of this. Is when teams need their big players to be fit, but unfortunately for Arsenal, yes, Partey is out. So I'm just representing my countryman today.
That's right. And for the people that can't see it, show them, just turn around, show them the Thomas Partey jersey, original Thomas Partey jersey. That's right. Given to him and signed by Thomas. This is a special one. Somehow, I still don't understand your opinions on Arsenal after all of this. All right, guys, let's start to show you some highlights pretty quickly. Coach Nimley mentioned the Roadshow. It was a big one, of course, earlier today. We'll try and play you some snippets from there. So those of you that were there, you get to see yourself. But we'll start from the Ghana Premier League, as we so often like to do. The first game, Asante Gold, they took on Wafa, and they thumped them by 6-0. Take a look.
Kwajiman stays onside. Do they get the first goal? And it's an empty net for Yawa not to put it in. Ashgold up by 1-0 in 12 minutes.
Just one simple ball through the channel. That shouldn't be. Who's tracking the man? Very much onside. And of course, Yano, once he realizes there's going to be an option to find his 9th goal of the season.
Now Diarra is giving away the ball to the goal scorer Yawano, but Kredu Yadom steps forward. Is still Yawano, and that's the second of the day. And his 10th of the season.
But that is another cheap goal to concede. Yeah, the tackle from Iadom is half-hearted. It doesn't go into the tackle really well.
And again, Kredu gives away possession, but Yawano is not making it count. Aminu Adams, he has his effort deflecting for the 3rd goal for Obuasi Asante Gold.
Almost half-hearted, nobody really committing to making a real challenge.
Here is Nkrumah. He's seen Yawano, and Oware again has that deflection coming off him for the 4th goal of Ashgold.
The space that he's got, Amos Nkrumah is looking to put in a cross, but the ball comes off.
Poor ball from Bolivar. Now Esso, magnificent, awesome.
Whatever that was, it was terrible. But once the ball pops out to Esso, all he needed to do was
for the minus, cuts back. Can they get a sit goal? Kingsley also sets up Yawano, and Yawano has his hat trick, and Ashgold are up by 6 goals. It was always coming.
Kept his composure really well here, sets up Yawano, and that's the thing about Yawano.
It's over.
All right, it was a complete drubbing. Ashgold handed Wafa, and things not looking good for Wafa at the moment. I'll take quick thoughts from the guys on this game before we talk about the super clash, of course. Coach, Wafa are in the relegation zone.
Yeah, man.
This was just comical to watch.
To be honest with you, since the death of Coach Samadi, Wafa has just changed.
In fact,
look,
2 years ago, their actual owner also passed away.
Yeah.
That was actually the start
of the problem.
Yes.
And for me, those who are in charge of the place now, I really don't know what they are doing. You can clearly see from the body language of the players that something is just not right. The boys are not happy. I have gotten the chance to speak to some of them directly. They said the way things used to be there is not the way it is now.
Okay.
And that will go a long way to affect everybody. And for me, I don't see how they are going to pull this through. I don't see how they are going to rescue themselves. It's so sad that one of the teams with the best facilities in the country that we expect to do things right, to make sure they maintain their Premier League status, is being done haphazardly, and at the end of the day, Ghana football is going to suffer. Look, take it or leave it.
Because I can't imagine them taking all of those things to Division 1.
Look,
it's all those facilities, all that talent.
And for me, look, those in charge of Wafa, they better set up. I don't know what the relationship is now between them and the people at Feyenoord. Because don't forget...
No, I think they've moved on from there. They now have a relationship with Red Bull.
Yeah, sorry. With Red Bull. Look, I don't know what the...
But if it's just last season, they sent players there.
Yeah, and I don't know what is happening.
Is gone there.
They'll have to sit up. And at the end of the day, if they don't sit up, they get relegated.
Okay.
And for me, you know my stand on Ashgold. I really don't like talking about them because at the end of I'm one of those people who believe they shouldn't be playing in the Premiership. The people at the FA...
You're talking about
of course.
Because of the events of last season.
Nicodemously,
Yes.
Nicodemously. They've just kept quiet on the matter.
Yes.
Matters or issues of fraud, corruption in our game.
Yes. So
They've
what
just allowed
Coach
it to
Nimli
be
is talking
swept
about,
under the carpet.
yes, for
And
background's
look,
sake,
it
Coach.
will happen again. And we'll come back here. And look, when I hit up on that day, they'll start playing the fixed matches again. They'll start.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is a bit, it's not being established that they played
look,
a fixed
I
game.
don't need anybody
But what
to
Coach
establish
Nimli
anything.
is talking about is the result from the last game of
Yeah,
last
so-
season involving Asante Kotoko and Inter Allies. And Inter Allies player scored 2 own goals in that game, and then later admitted
Look,
that he did
I
that.
maintain
And
Ash Gold should not
Can
be in
I
the
finish the
Premiership.
background?
Yes, yeah, go ahead and finish.
and then later admitted that he scored the 2 own goals because he wanted to spoil a bet.
yeah.
And so the matter is since been under investigation, and we still have no outcome on it. And that's what Coach is talking about.
I don't want to talk about
because he feels that Ashko would be guilty. But
Yeah, because look,
but until proven guilty,
come on, man. I don't need
Daniel,
anybody
quick
to
thoughts
be
on
guilty
the
this
game
one.
before we move on.
Look, it's sad. It's sad for Wafa because this was it's comical. The fact is, Ashwood are not this good. That's why it's extra painful from a Wafa point of view because they were made to look very small. The sort of football that they exhibited over 90 minutes. But look, the season is not over. Hopefully, there are teams below them, there are teams just above them who are much worse than them. For the sake of the work that they've done over the years in Ghana football, of course, and as Coach has said, you can tell from his sentiments, we all hope that they're able to survive the season because they've done some very good work. They've produced some top-class players. Yeah. And with the facilities that they have, you just hope that they put their house in order and just survive this storm. And I'm sure they'll be able to do that, especially with their the strength they have at home. Of course, it's not been the same this season, but with the relegation zone, you are just 2 or 3 wins away from being comfortable, and you don't put it past Wafa to be able to do that from now to the end of the season.
All right, let's go to Kumasi now. That was where Kumasi Asante Kotoko took on rivals House of Folk. The build-up to this game wasn't particularly the biggest or the noisiest, but there was an okay crowd. Around 15,000 people showed up for the game between Kotoko and House of Folk. What was more important for both teams was to try and get the win. In the end, Kotoko got it through an Etuga penalty.
Imoro for Asante Kotoko. Here is the Kotoko's keeper. Good play from Imoro. Here is Imoro. Very close. Good pass to Awako. Awako's cross. Saved by now Gama. Beautiful play goes down. Penalty.
Yeah, we'll get a better view from here. It's Gama who's making his way into the box. I knew Aziz is tracking him. Not enough to.
Kotoko with an opportunity to go ahead. Etuga steps forward and Etuga scores. The Porcupines up by 1-0. Easily converted by Etuga. It's Kotoko 1, Hearts 0.
When you need him to step up, he always does, Etuga. And that is a finish of certainty.
Here is Nuruddin. Now Fatal Mohammed. Here is Gama. He goes for power. Great save from Ayi. Is a corner. Who kicks the ball out, and referee Kenny Paddy whistles. That's the end of the first half. Asante Kotoko 1, Hearts 0.
Front three have been very narrow, which has tucked the fullbacks in as well.
Mfege is sprinting to the left. Yes, he finds Mfege. Here is Mfege. Good save from Ayi. Here is Daniel Efriye-Bani, and now Bin Jr. That's a good block from Mubarak Yusuf. Is a corner. Now Gama on his right foot, and Mfege has missed. Flag was up already for offside.
All right, so that's that. Kotoko got the win. Let me show you the full results from match week 24. Folk there. Bechem also securing a win over Gold Stars. Brecum Chelsea won the winners over Legon Cities, Dreams, and Wonders sharing the spoils. Sharks got their second win of the season against King Faisal. Not sure what's going on with King Faisal these days. And Great Olympics consolidating that third position. They won 2-1 against the China Stars. Accra Lions also beating Karela. Mediama 2-1 winners over RTU. And Ashko 6-0 thumping of Wafa there. What does the table look like now? So there you go. Kotoko top 52 points. That is 12 points. Sorry, not 12. I believe it's 8 points. 8 points above Bichem United at the moment, who are in second place. And then in third position is Mediama with 39. Great Olympics right on their tails, also with 39. And then you have a Jonas also with 39, so it's really close. Then Hartlepool down 36 in sixth position. Wickham Chelsea, same number of points in seventh. The bottom is where you should pay attention. Wafa's defeat now is taking them to second from bottom. They have 23 points. They have minus 14 goal difference this season. Things are bad. RTU also joining them. And then there is Elmina Sharks. Sharks, after their win again, now look like they've given themselves some lifeline. There are 10 games to the end of the season. They're playing 34 matches. So we'll see what happens at the end of that. But that's what the table looks like. Let's refocus on the commentary, on the highlight game of tonight, the Super Clash. And there's only one moment to pick on. Obviously, there are quite a few, but that would be focusing too much on off-field issues. On the field, the winner was the penalty. You've seen it. We'll play it back again and again. What's your verdict on that?
Look, 10 out of 10. That is never anywhere is that a penalty. So if this referee don't get the ban from the FA,
As a folk will have to complain first.
Which they have done.
Okay.
I've spoken to Opari. They've done it. How do you decide a game like that?
Okay.
What did he see?
Let's look at the penalty incident again.
If you could go back, look at his position. Look at where he was. What did he see?
He was there, clear.
What did he see that warranted that he should be pointing to the spot like he did? Look, it's shameful. It's disgraceful. If you look at where our game have gotten to regarding the role of referees in that number 12 episode, look at where he was. What did he see? What did he see to be that confident that that was a penalty?
What's wrong here? Why is it not a foul?
Why is this a foul?
Where is the contact?
There was no contact.
Where is the contact?
Where is the foul?
Where?
I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And I said, goodness me, if this is the sort of refereeing decision that are affecting our game, then you and I, this game have got no future. We'll sit here and talk and talk and talk. But these people will go to games and they have the results in their pocket. They go to games.
Is it not a case that perhaps he genuinely thought it was a foul? Because from the movement, it looked like Gama was making a cutback.
And the Hasselhoff player didn't even move his leg. He did. He did not.
He did. He just didn't catch him.
No, he didn't move his leg. It was a bot. You see, he had a stronger upper body strength on Gama.
Yeah.
I didn't see his leg moved. I didn't see it.
Okay.
If you could go back, you see it again.
He moved his leg, but
he did.
catch him.
Let's have a look at it.
Let's go back. If we could go back to
and
the clip again and see whether he moved. Okay, come on. Why did he move his leg? He moved his leg to block the ball.
Wait for the replay.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go again. So there is the pass. There is Gama. Where is the leg?
There it is.
The leg was to block the ball, not to
Okay, so the leg was in front of Gama.
It was in front of Gama. So where did he?
Not behind him.
Not behind Gama. So where is the penalty? Look, I don't know the name of the referee. If you can get the name for me, I'll be grateful.
Oh.
This referee should not be allowed to officiate any of our games for the next 2 seasons. If I'm the one.
Because you got one penalty call wrong.
This is the biggest game. Biggest game in Ghana.
Yeah.
You don't get such.
We saw a referee in UEFA Champions League semi-final, get major decisions wrong.
So it is not a justification for another person. What happened to that referee after that?
There were threats on his life.
You don't do that. You don't do that.
Okay.
Look, it's shameful that our version of the Classical should be decided by a very bad decision from this referee.
Daniel, your thoughts on this? Is that the only... Well, obviously that was a deciding factor in this game. But I wanted to pick your thoughts on anything else that happened in the match that is of interest. But it looks like it's impossible given the given the controversial nature of the win.
Look, I'm going to be as blunt as possible. First of all, after the game, I'm asking myself, if not for my job, I will not care about this thing.
Of course.
I won't care. I will not waste my time. I won't lie to you. I will not waste my time, my 90 minutes watching this game. You're talking about the biggest game in Ghana football. No promotion whatsoever throughout the week. We didn't see anything from the owners of the product. So they themselves, they don't care. So I'm asking myself, why should I put in extra work to try and promote something when the people who own it don't care? Exactly. Second of all, you see, you can't give, and this is it cuts across. This is my sentiments cuts across. This is the biggest game of Ghana football. It's not time for trial and error with referees. You don't give him an opportunity because, he's done good. No. You go for the best referee. I don't care if this best referee is one person and he's refereeing this game every season, both legs. I don't care. Yeah. If the rest of them cannot reach his level, then they have no business officiating this game. Because it's not about trial and error. You have to get it right. That's the fine margins of this. Because this decision has decided the game. Now, Hearts of Oak have lost a game where they shouldn't have lost if you go down to fine margins. This was a penalty that decided the game, the 3 points for Kotoko. And you see, it's not like it's a contentious decision where some people will think it's a penalty and some people will not.
Yeah, the more you watch it.
It's as clear as possible, you see. And for those of some people who are insisting it was a penalty, I don't care about the opinion. The opinions are opinions that you don't need to. Because it's either you don't have eyes or you are just being stubborn. It's one of those things. So if you think it was a penalty, fine. You can think it was a penalty or whatever and you can continue. But if they continue to ref games like this and you continue to treat the product like this, look.
Because I'm sure there are even Kotoko fans who would have been scandalized by this.
We are coming on the back of a very successful last season in terms of the love, bringing back the love. People were actually excited about the product. And then we are treating this season like this. And it happened in the first leg in Accra. The same thing. It was actually individual media organizations who took it upon themselves to promote the product. Yeah. We are not seeing the owners of the product do anything. And for me, that's what I'm saying. If it's not because of where I sit, I honestly don't care. This game was at the same time as Man City versus Liverpool. Should I really take my remote and put it on Hearts versus Kotoko while Manchester City and Liverpool are playing top-class football with in fact, I will not call them top-class referees, but they have the benefit of VAR to correct the mistakes they have. You don't have the benefit of VAR. So you have to get some decisions right. And a decision like this is not something... I can turn my back and know it's not a penalty. Are you kidding me? How can you get this wrong? How can you get this wrong? And you see, it's the confidence with which he pointed to the spot. So when you point
he was very confident.
Yeah, really so if we see the replay, you must be justified. You can't. What is this?
Okay.
How can this guy be reffing a top-class game? Then this league is not. Then we should stop.
He was so relaxed, and then he's come up, he just pointed like that.
Wow. Let me read a few messages here first because it's quite interesting. A lot of people are commenting on that particular decision. In fact, let me check on Twitter. That's where a lot of people are actually commenting on that particular decision. Wombuni says, with poor officiating like this, how can our officials be mentioned for World Cup? This is totally unacceptable. And he says, thanks to Klopp and Pep for making our day not so annoying, unlike GPA referee B. Hindsight Samuel Tifio says, thank you, because it's Kotoko, you refuse to see the real picture. If this was against Kotoko, your intro would have been controversial penalty. I don't know what you mean. I mean, I haven't said it's a penalty. I don't know why you are accusing me.
All that he's trying to say that you would have added the necessary adjectives to it.
And that's true. Of course, and that is true.
Kwabra of Humble said, I don't understand why Thomas Partey's shirt fits down a Crampton so well. Okay.
It's my countryman you are seeing.
Kodia Bano is introducing a new perspective. He says that the defender held Game's shirt. Watch closely.
Boy.
All right. We'll play back one more time to see if he held his shirt. Senator said it was good yesterday at Goodison Park. The Man United team needs overhauling. This one says, Fent, that's Abdul Bassett Mutawakil Kasim. He says, Fent, kindly tell Daniel to take off the Arsenal jersey. We know he's trolling Arteta and his army, but time will tell. Look, they are seeing through your antics.
My countryman plays for Arsenal. He said I should do something.
Nasir Mohammed, my brother, he says, I'm waiting for how coach is going to start the Everton versus United game. People didn't attend the Kotoko versus Hearts match because it was a runaway league from the former. The penalty is no way a penalty. Bad officiating, Mohammed says. All right, interesting. Papa J Jr. says, Ghana referees need a serious education on how to officiate, especially some key matches. No wonder we have no Ghanaian referees being selected by FIFA. All right, keep your thoughts on the officiating or any other topic coming. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, we'll zoom straight to the Premier League. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. Your messages welcome on Twitter. Use the hashtag Scorecard. Also, send me a message on the WhatsApp number on your screen. A few more messages on the refereeing issue before we move to other topics. Folari Mohammed says, we're all here in this country. When Hearts were awarded a dubious penalty against Sharks in the MTN FA Cup, nobody called for the head of the referee. Karma is indeed real. That's justification. It doesn't make the decision in this game right. Wrong is wrong. So the fact that the referee was wrong in the Hearts Sharks game doesn't mean you should let this one.
If we are thinking like this, if we are thinking like this, how do you expect the product to move forward?
That's the point. So
if we are all thinking
let's not ever get to a point where we say, okay, because there was a controversial penalty here against Hearts of Oak, the next game there must be one for Hearts of Oak. We shouldn't be thinking like that. That's not how it should be. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. If we go on that tangent, then we can develop as a nation, as a football country. Kwesi Daston says, check the position of the Hearts player's hand before and after the 10 of Fabio. I think...
Look, we've looked at it again.
Gambia Roland said, good evening, fan. Team Mercedes has been uninspiring this season and Lewis Hamilton is performing below par. I wonder if he thinks he's driving an Uber because he's making Ashaiman Trotro drivers look way better than him. He should sit up.
That's a good one.
CFC De Bruyne says, Steve, he says, Coach, you had the chance to watch the replay so many times, but can you say that about the referee?
That's what I'm saying. What did he see?
He said you had the benefit of hindsight. The referee didn't have the benefit. In real time...
Even if I'm a blind man, there's no way I will see that as a penalty.
But you see, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes, maybe in real time, what I'm trying to say is this. I'm trying to give the referee the benefit of the doubt. I think we can all agree that the decision is wrong or is controversial. But I don't want to believe that there is a motive behind it.
The arrogance.
Yes.
The
it is possible he was a genuine mistake.
The confidence with which he blew for the decision. I say he took the result in his pocket before the game.
No referee blows for a whistle, blows for a decision without being confident in the decision.
Unless they have the arrogance, the confidence with which he whistled for the penalty.
But who doesn't point to the penalty spot like that when you whistle?
No, but we have seen referees.
So you want him to whistle
the decision and a bit hesitant.
We don't want those referees. We want referees who are sure of their position.
So if he was sure and we've seen the replay, what did he see? That's the question.
What did he see?
So that's the point I'm making. He saw a piece of action in real time that looked like a penalty.
No, come on, man.
No, it's possible.
It's possible. That's why he shouldn't be refereeing at this level.
How did this thing look like a penalty?
Thank you, Coach. Let's move it on to the Premier League and talk about things that will subdue this man. Manchester United, they took on Everton Football Club. United were looking to get some 3 points that could help in their chase for top 4 and Champions League football next season. That did not happen. Relegation threatened Everton, beat them by 1-0. All right, so Everton won 1-0. Coach Christopher Nimley and Daniel Cranton, both United fans, fight.
You don't need fight about what?
Fight about what?
Was it Bruno Fernandes's fault or Pogba's fault?
No, you see, when you say fault Asat, or for what?
I watched the game.
You watched the game?
Bruno Fernandes looked out of sort, out of sync with the team. And I have no idea what's going on
Look,
there.
let me tell you something. Bruno Fernandes is the best player in this Man United team. For all those who are saying that,
You don't say.
look at my shirt.
Awareness. Awareness.
But that's an Inter Milan shirt. If you felt confident about Bruno Fernandes, you would have come here in his jersey.
Look at this man.
What has this man done?
Who do you know as Awareness Fernandes in football?
I don't know an Inter Milan player called Awareness.
Okay, you put that aside. Let me tell you something. You see this Man United team, I don't want them to qualify for Europe. Point number one. Point number two, the mole players in this team is absolutely gangantuan. Look, it's legendary. I'm telling you honestly today. I'm speaking my heart out. Look,
Speak.
Gargantuan
and legendary.
and legendary.
I hear people say we should go back and bring Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Laughable. You see, I told you something.
But
I said that Rangnick will expose these boys.
Ole's win percentage is higher than Rangnick.
You see?
In fact, Rangnick has the lowest win percentage of any United manager
That is
in
why-
the Premier League history.
that is-
47%.
That is why he will expose them.
Is it? But that's his fault, no? He's
It's
not the one in charge.
It has never been his fault from day one. All those who thought it was his fault, with time, they've seen that it cannot be his fault.
We've seen different managers deliver with the same players.
This
with the
players-
better wins. Yeah, with the better win ratio.
These players.
Yes.
You see that this is the difference. Under Ole, these players played for Ole, but they were badly coached.
I see.
These players are not playing for this manager.
How do you know that?
The managers whose report determines your future. And he's made it clear to the board, like close to 12 of you are rubbish. You will not play for him.
Shouldn't they be playing to try and change his mind?
Change which mind? If you're not good, you're not good. Oh. Change which mind?
No, players improve. Don't say that. Players improve.
What sort of improvement would Wan-Bissaka, Tomini, 50 size, 50 Maguire, how do you call it?
Pogba.
Pogba.
Luke Shaw.
What sort of improvement do they have to give? These are players in their 29 years, 28 years. What sort of improvement?
Lingard.
They should be in their peak. If you follow football, they should be in their peak. What sort of improvement?
But McTominay is young. He can improve.
Massa, don't mention his name. Look, if I train for 2 weeks, oh no more. Oh, Chale. Chale. If I train for 2 weeks, simple control and pass.
Control pass.
And move forward, receive.
Simple
Chest, dash.
pass.
No more.
Oh, Charlie.
McTominay.
Control pass.
He can't control and pass.
So your point is, if I get you right, your point is that the United players are simply not good enough.
Look.
And because there is the potential that a lot of them could be sacked at the end of the season based on the recommendation of Rangnick,
Rangnick. Yes.
a lot of the players aren't playing for him.
And for me, the man, after 1 month, wrote the report and said that about 90% of this team are interested in Pochettino, the puppet, somebody who will be treated like the puppet. Yes, sir, massa. Yes, sir, boss. Yes, sir, massa. And then Rangnick told the board, he told the Glazers family and said, look, you see what is being done at Liverpool? You see what is being done at Manchester City? If you want the same thing to happen here, you go and give the job to Ten Hag. We knew that Rangnick recommended Ten Hag topmost. And Ten Hag has looked at this team and he's told the board, he said, look, give me total control. As we speak, Ten Hag has accepted to be the United manager verbally. United have offered him the job verbally. we are left with the nitty-gritty of the clauses in the contract. And prime on that is the fact that he says he wants total control, like Sir Alex Ferguson, Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola are experiencing. And yesterday, I'm saying this on record, yesterday, the meeting that was held on Saturday, the board and Ten Hag's rep, they were still going back and forth on the matter. And they told them, if you don't agree to this, go and give the job to whoever he wants to give the job to. And my checks have shown that. Or my checks
you say your sources.
Okay, my sources have indicated to me.
Yes. You have sources at Old Trafford.
Of course, the most powerful glazer, the man who I told that if he doesn't stop those things, he will meet me in presence very soon, has accepted that Ten Hag should be given total control.
All right. So for you...
For me, if you look at the attitude of the players yesterday, look at somebody on £290,000 a week.
For Pogba.
He breaks the ball, he passes, then he's jogging. Whilst we are, instead of him to be doing this.
Wait, what should he be doing and what was he doing?
He was doing this, giving the ball. Giving the ball. But then he was jogging.
When he should be in high.
Look, Bruno Fernandes, all the chances we created yesterday, the player who is being touted to be the worst on the pitch, he created them. The one that Rashford had, it was Bruno Fernandes.
Yes.
Rashford's second chance from 70 yards.
It was Bruno.
It was Bruno Fernandes.
The ball,
it was Bruno Fernandes who created those chances. Look, Wan-Bissaka, Matic, Cavani, Mata, Lingard, Pogba, Maguire. I should have mentioned him first. Maguire, Luke Shaw, Scott McTominay.
That's your whole team.
But who should you keep? Is there anybody to keep? You keep only 5.
So you're saying that Ten Hag will sign?
I say keep only 5 players. The goalkeeper, Rafael Varane, Jadon Sancho, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Bruno Fernandes. The rest, Bukadaya, I'm telling you honestly.
Wow, Coach Daniel, that is such a hardball take. It's almost like sack everybody because the team is so bad, nothing can change anybody. They can't improve. No manager can improve. Yes. No manager can improve them. It's a lost cause. United is a lost cause. Bring Ten Hag, keep only 5 players and sign and build an entirely new team.
Friends, isn't it interesting that most of the players coach mentioned who were additions to the team, as United went out to buy. If you remember, I was against most of those transfers, most of them. United is not suffering because the players are bad. The team lacks balance. And a team that lacks balance cannot succeed. No matter the individual brilliance in the team, you will not get consistent good results because it lacks balance. And you see, it lacks balance at the most critical part of the field, in midfield. I'm saying Manchester United is not a serious team. And see, you might think because of my biases for Paul Pogba, but I always ask people, how come that anytime you take him outside the Manchester United setting, he produces world-class performances after another, after another, after another? How come?
Does he do that consistently?
Can I answer that?
Have you watched? Look at him at the Euros. He was the best player in the Euros. And we all know it. We were talking about it. He was the best player in the Euros until France went out. We saw him at Juventus. Top class player. That is the reason why Jose Mourinho put his reputation on the line and said this guy is worth £80 million and I want him in my team. £89 million because Mourinho saw him at Juventus and we all saw him at Juventus. His last season in Juventus, he was part of the world best 11. He was that good. Do you understand? And you see, I'm building a point.
Okay.
Manchester United as an institution is not serious. They are not serious because when you buy somebody for £89 million, you do everything in your power to get the best out of him.
Today, when I say the same thing about Lukaku, you say, hey. When I say the same thing about Lukaku, you say, hey.
That's the point. So, in fact, that's what I was about to say.
The same thing about Lukaku, you say, hey.
He came with a reputation, but his performances at United, what they're judging him on. You go on.
Daniel, go on. I'm building my point. Don't be
Yes, build your point. Namely, don't interrupt.
If you buy somebody for £89 million, you do your best to get the best out of him. Manchester United have needed a defensive midfielder since 2012.
To free Pogba.
United have needed a defensive midfielder.
To free Pogba.
No, in the absence of Paul Pogba, they had needed a defensive midfielder since 2012. They didn't have one. Seasons have passed, and United have refused to get a specialist in that position. Season after season after season. The closest they went into fixing that problem was Jose Mourinho, when he insisted that he wanted Matic. And even that one, he got Matic when Matic was declining.
Of course.
When you look at Paul Pogba as a player, you see, I always say this thing. Look at the best, his peers, the best in the world. Modric has not had to play with McTominay. Modric has been playing with Casemiro and Kroos. Modric doesn't have an excuse to fail because there's quality around him. Xavi was playing with Iniesta and Busquets. He never had an excuse to fail. Look at Xabi Alonso at Real Madrid. Look at the players around him. Modric was there. Look, quality. Look at Kevin De Bruyne. He came, he met Yaya Toure. He had David Silva. He has Gundogan. He has Fernandinho. He has Rodri. That is quality. Bernardo Silva. That is quality. Look at Liverpool. Let me land.
Is so bad.
I'm building the point.
Bruno Fernandes comes. He meets McTominay. He meets Fred. His record is there for everybody to see. His influence in this United.
So you're saying that this whole idea of put quality around Pogba,
look at his attitude.
It's overblown.
Look at his attitude.
Okay.
Very
Daniel, you can go
arrogant,
on.
very bossy.
It's okay. Daniel, go on. Daniel, go on. Wrap up for me. We need to move on to other games.
Don't do that.
I understand your point.
No, let I finish. When I finish, then you come and say, because when you were saying I didn't say something. I waited for you to finish. So this is what I'm saying, man. Let me say my own.
Yes.
Look at Thiago Alcantara. Even when he came to Liverpool and he was struggling, we all knew that it was time because the tools around him they are together. Look, they are aiding him to succeed. He doesn't have an excuse, and eventually he will succeed. And we're all seeing it. Paul Pogba. When you look at the template of Paul Pogba, look at the people who surrounded him at Juventus and compare that to the people who surrounded him at Manchester United. And that's why I said he cannot possibly give you consistently good performances. They will come as and when. But if the quality is not there, and look, friends, listen to this. When Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came, the first 3 months, in fact, if you go back to, that was a season where Pogba was included in the team of the year. That's when he topped United assists. That's when he topped the goal scoring. He topped almost all the statistics for the season. Those first 3 months of Ole's reign, what did he do? Pogba was surrounded by Matic and Herrera. And he was completely unplayable. He was scoring goals, assisting, scoring goals, bossing games, man of the match performances. And then Herrera got injured. When Herrera got injured, what happened to Pogba? They withdrew him. Then they brought Andres Pereira, to come and pay. How is he possibly going to give the same performances?
Those players are all bad.
They are bad. And they influence the performance. No, coach, let me land.
We are saying the same thing.
Coach, we need to move on because this is not... we've spent quite a lot of time on this.
The United team doesn't have balance
to deal with.
And you see, without balance, you can't succeed. Look, this thing... When, what's his name? Louis van Gaal came to United and people were screaming, buy this player, he kept on insisting on balance. Even when he came to the favorite feat of his centre backs, he needs somebody who is left-footed. Balance is very critical. And in midfield, if you don't have balance, you can't compete with the best team. You think God is sleeping? How do you expect McTominay, Fred and co to compete in Manchester City with Rodri and how?
That would never happen.
It will never happen. And with Bruno Fernandes, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm saying that I've made this point before. When you are chasing a game, okay, and you are a player of a certain repute, you have a player of a certain caliber, coach, you see it yourself. This bim bam boom bim bam, it's not going to solve anything.
Bim bam. He's going long.
Bruno Fernandes is so impulsive and it's so frustrating to watch, and it's so frustrating for attacking players.
Since when?
as soon as he gets the ball, it's either he's firing from 50 yards or he's trying to hit a pass from 70.
Okay.
He doesn't go for the simple things. And sometimes
you made
what
this
you
point
need,
consistently.
yes, sometimes what you need
but
is to just
no
calm
more-
down.
no more comment.
Just
No,
calm
no
down.
more
It's finished.
comment.
Forcing out an
United.
opportunity,
No,
and you will
finish.
score.
No,
There's
no,
no need to
just
rush
one
the
comment,
issue.
please.
No,
Just
no.
I want to.
No more
no,
comments
please,
on
I beg you.
United.
Oh, I beg you. I need that. I beg you. Please, I beg you. I beg you, please. I beg you. This is the point. You see, the point I'm making is, I am shocked Danny has found a beautiful way to justify Pogba inconsistency. Do you know my problem with the attitude is so no more.
Have you seen
no more.
Dimitar Berbatov?
Oh, no more.
On a good day, on
No
a
more.
bad day, his body language is
Berbatov is always the same.
You don't judge Pogba. This is how Pogba plays when he plays for
All right.
France.
The
That's
Pogba
how he
argument
is.
will go on.
Look,
that's
But
how
let's
he
please
is.
deal with
One
other
machine. The
other
fact is,
games.
we thank
Thank
them.
you, coach.
They should
Thank
go.
you,
We
Daniel.
thank them. We
Chelsea-
thank them. They should go.
Chelsea Football Club, they also were in action. They were beaten last weekend by Brentford. We sat here, we laughed at them. Then in midweek, they lost to Real Madrid. They needed the response, and they got one 6-0 win against Southampton. Incredible. The Blues found a response when they needed one. What about Arsenal Football Club? They took on Brighton at home at the Emirates. They were chasing Champions League football. At some point, they had 3 games in hand, were 1 point behind Man United, and were certain they would make top 4. In fact, some Arsenal fans, I swear, said they were coming for Chelsea's 3rd position. Now the 3 games are done. Arsenal out of top 4, and the nail on the coffin was this one against Brighton at home. So Tottenham Hotspur winning against Aston Villa. That means they're now in 4th position, and they are some 3 points above Arsenal. Although Spurs have played 1 game more than Arsenal. They do have the better goal difference, of course. Let me just show you quickly the 4 results from this weekend's Premier League games. All of the 4 highlights we've shown you, you see the results confirmed there. And then you see Manchester City and Liverpool. Of course, the game was earlier today. We had a Roadshow. We'll bring you that a little later in the show. Brentford also beating West Ham, a bit of a surprise, that scoreline. Earlier today, of course, that was when that game was played. And then Leicester also beating Crystal Palace by 2-1. That game was also played on Sunday. The biggest result of the round belongs to Chelsea and Leeds United, who won away. When their coach Jeshimash came, they said it was Ted Lasso, but here we are. He's winning away from home. All right, we'll take a short break now. When we come back, I'll read more of your messages, and then we show you Liverpool against Man City. All right, so we'll come back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. We are on the last leg of the show. We are on till 10:30 p.m. A few messages here. Samuel Manukure says, what of Shamani at Monaco? What's the quality around him? He's always being admired and producing world-class performances week in, week out, but there's no quality around him. Pogba should give us a break. The man 4-0 says, tell Daniel and Nimli that Mwepu, the Zambian captain, is better than every United midfielder except Bruno Fernandes. Makoni G says, I'm a bit surprised Coach and Daniel are ranting about this whole penalty decision. They should know that they are entitled to their opinions, but not their own facts. That penalty was a right call from the referee. Kwame Adombasta says, wow. I like Coach Nimli, but his interjections when others are making submissions is not good. At least he should allow Danike to make his point. Then he can come in.
We're all saying the same thing at the same time, but that's different.
You were worrying the man too much.
I wasn't. He's my brother now.
You were worrying me.
Mohamed Tahiru Ibra says, Maguire should be knighted. Man, you have the men.
Who should be knighted?
He's clearly trolling.
Take your time.
You better put me in.
Crazy Stuff on Twitter says, everything that you just said about Man United has come to pass. The team is uncoachable. He said it's better to start from zero rather than coach this team. Mr. Brandon says, man, I love Coach. I love his analysis. Thumbs up to my team. Ronaldo, meet Daniel. Okay, enjoying the show, he says. All right, Nation Builder says, what is the size of Harry Maguire's boots again?
Oh, it's 50. I proved it like that. He's not only 50, flat-footed fishing boat.
Yeah. Well, this one, Sam Doc says, with all due respect, coaches spare us this defense of United's abysmal performances. Fans are tired of the
How
embarrassment.
do you defend
Raf is just not good. A team can't put up a sustained joy for its fans. Sad. I think he's talking about your defense of Rangnick.
Okay, of course.
Sylvester Jemfi says, good evening, my brother. For me, it's a clear penalty. Congrats to the entire fantabulous Krobia Asante Kotoko players for their splendid performance against Yano, he says. More messages. These ones are on WhatsApp. Good evening to you and your panelists. I sincerely think we have a long way to go as a country when it has to do with our Premier League. I was at the stadium and it was sad to the extent that a supporter was equating the penalty to a ball that hit a player's backside years ago between us and Kotoko. Niamu from Kumasi. I remember that incident. That was the incident. That incident was part of the Anas expose.
Suka.
Samuel Suka.
Yeah.
It hit the back of Ahmed Adams.
Yeah, Ahmed Adams. Yeah.
And then he took a penalty. How on earth can this be a penalty? No wonder they won't be selected for any serious major tournament. Backward referees in Kwa. Emmanuel from Tadi Anachi. Good evening, fan. This is Gunu from Zabzugu. I want to know whether there is goal line technology being used in GPL. How about VAR? Absolutely none. Anyway, big ups to my blue family in Ghana. I'm telling you that Chelsea was supposed to score 9 goals, but the 3 were saved for Tuesday. Interesting. Coach, and they feel you rough, but to be frank, you are annoying and... Okay, he's introduced it. This is interesting. You are the most annoying and teaserable person I have seen so far. You guys are amazing. Teaserable person.
Yes.
Nana Ikuya from Wa with that message. Nana Ikuya, thank you. I think
try.
we know what you're trying to say. Coach likes teasing people.
You should try and come down to a car.
Hello, Scorecard. You guys are doing marvelously well. Just enjoying the show. I know Coach Chris will talk about 50-boot man Magua. Oh, he already did.
You saw the way he
Eric
blocked the
Govin
shot.
Saville.
If you want to block the shot.
Coach.
Magua.
That's what you go to the clip. So I'm going to play the shot then.
Oh, God. Coach. Give me a break. Malam Arsenal from Denchira Wampansa FM. Please tell Daniel to take off the Arsenal jersey. He's been wishing doom for Arteta, and he's got it now. He's wearing to troll us. All right. Razak from Newtown, Berlin Bridge says, how can this be a penalty? Please, Tahiru, ask coach for me. We dealt with that. This one said, that foul on Gama doesn't really look like a penalty. That's bad refereeing. Fidas from Bimbala says, Man United should not qualify for any of the European competitions so that they will focus on English competition only because they will get a new coach next season. Man United all the way. Eskin Churches in Winneba says, I'm glad City is still at the apex of the league. Liverpool were lucky to escape beatings. As for United, they need an extra decade to show up again. Arthur Norman from Bremen Sikuma says, wow, what's a great game between City and Liverpool today. But I think Klopp let us down by substituting Mane and leaving Salah. This one's from David from Ofanko. He says, Chelsea will shock people on Tuesday. What happened yesterday was a rehearsal. Starting Werner, Ziyech and Havertz all at the same time. Quay Madrid, get ready. This one says, please give my coach 1 hour to flow for me. United there. Our team needs to go to relegation and then we build from there. Coach, quick thoughts on Chelsea. They bounced back after back-to-back defeats.
Considered 7 goals in 2 games. That is not acceptable.
And they went to dump 6 of them on Southampton.
That is not acceptable at all. So obviously there had to be a response, and the response was emphatic. But as to whether that could serve as the needed catalyst to go and beat the people or overturn the deficit at the Bernabeu, to all the Chelsea supporters watching me, it will not happen. It is not what?
That's what the Napier is talking about.
She was the one who gave me the idea to do that. It will not happen.
I won't mind. Daniel.
No, but do you think it will happen?
Quick thoughts on Arsenal. We need to move.
Why? It's what you are crying. Why?
At some point, to be fair, let's get serious. Look, there are tears in your eyes from laughter. What's all this?
I'm actually very sad for Arsenal. I'm crying.
That's not why there are tears. You are laughing so hard that please, you can wipe your tears with your Arsenal jersey. Please do.
Oh, no, don't worry. This is part of the submission.
On a more serious note, What's going on with Arsenal? Because at some point, I genuinely thought they had top 4 wrapped up.
Friends, what is going on is nothing I didn't tell you at the start of the season.
Of course.
It's nothing I didn't see.
It's all Arteta.
Then who is it? Look, and you see, this is the thing about football fans that I don't like. When they make up their mind about somebody because he's been with the club, because he's a likable person, then they refuse to see the obvious. When Unai Emery came, his first season, he was 5th, 1 point away from Champions League football. Yeah. The second season didn't go too well. He finished 7th. And then his third season, midway through, they sacked him. Arteta came first season 8th, second season 8th, but they said there's progress. Third season, and you see, when you guys were giving Arsenal fans and giving them props, I was always telling you, there's context to this. In January, their first FA Cup game, they were kicked out in the 3rd round. They were already out of Carabao Cup at the time because they lost in December to Liverpool, the quarter-final. No European football. So from January to the end of the season, their sole focus was on the Premier League. That is 1 match a week. At the point,
have 6 days of training.
6 days of training. At that particular point in time, they were in the Champions League race. They were not far off, so they could look at that 4th spot and say, that is our trophy. We are going for it this season. Look, give that opportunity to any decent manager, and by now they'll be comfortably in 4th place. I'm telling you.
Toto Conte.
Comfortably. Man United had other things to think about. Tottenham Hotspur had other things to think about. West Ham United are still having things to think about. But they are just 3 points behind Arsenal. But what did Arteta do in January? And that's what I was talking about, the inexperience. A big team cannot give an inexperienced manager and use their club as a learning ground for somebody, hoping that in the next 3, 4, 5 years, things will get better. You don't do things like that if you are Arsenal Football Club. If you are bringing in somebody, then you know that the results are supposed to be almost immediate. Or you should start seeing the fruit of your labor in the first few seasons. 8th first season, 8th second season. Where is the progress?
Let's get back to what he did wrong in
Let
January.
me tell you what he did wrong in January. He stripped his team naked. 6 players left. And you see, the one on top of and I was saying it when the Aubameyang thing was happening. Fine, if you don't like Aubameyang, let him go. But get a replacement. Because you are going into a critical moment in the season, a critical period in the season, where you need somebody to score goals. At that time, it's not like Lacazette was on form and we could say that we are hoping that he sustains his form. He has not been in form at any point in this season.
In fact, 17 matches, Lacazette has not scored from
Open play.
1,000 minutes is the last 1,000 minutes. He's had 4 shots.
17 matches is 2 games shy of half the season. And that is serious. So
But
if you are
striker.
letting somebody like Aubameyang go and you actually have eyes on the top 4, you should be getting a replacement.
Definitely.
And that is down to management. And it's inexperience. Ego, pride. I don't like you. Go away. You say you want to make the
But
top 4.
Aubameyang was misconducting himself.
So replace him. That's my point. If you don't like him, replace him. At the
Aubameyang
start of the
didn't
season,
misconduct
friends,
himself.
at the
He did what?
friends,
His
at the start
his
of the
mother
season,
was sick,
at the
he went
start
to
of the
visit the
season,
mother.
when they played the first 3 games and they lost, we all looked at their midfield and you could tell clearly that without Thomas Partey, this team will be a problem. So what do you do in January?
Get a backup.
Get a backup, quick. But he sat there, allow players to leave. Just go. Once he
6.
doesn't like you, 6. Strip this team completely naked. Now look, 1 injury to Partey.
And they're all over the
How is
place.
Arsenal going to win a game? So for the Arsenal fans who also thought they would make top 4, coach, how do you do it?
All right.
It won't happen.
All right. Today there was a big game between Liverpool and Man City. An excellent game of football. It was supposed to be a potential title decider. It's come out looking exactly like it was before the game, with Man City 1 point above Liverpool. There you go. It ended 2-2. Man City, it took them 5 minutes to get the opening goal. And there it is. Kevin De Bruyne on his stride, left-footed, took a wicked deflection of Matip, of course, and then hit the goalpost, the upright, and into the back of the net. 1-0. Coach, at this point, we thought, okay, that's a dream start.
Of course.
But it only took 7 minutes.
For Liverpool to restore parity, isn't it?
Yes.
Look, the game was that close. And
this was the response.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Look at Trent Allen. This was the only good thing he did in that first 45 minutes.
Yeah, Cancelo was roasting him the whole time.
He completely took him.
So there it is. Diogo Jota finishing off a Trent Alexander-Arnold chance.
And then Trent went to sleep again.
Yeah.
He calls the team. All he needed to do was to track the run of Gabriel Jesus, which he didn't do. And obviously, Liverpool got punished.
So this was Trent's fault?
Yes, it was his fault. He knew Jesus was behind him. As to why he stopped and didn't continue with his move, he will be the best person to explain. And that eventually, but look at this pass.
Half-time, City led 2-1. Yes. Then at the start of the second half, there it is.
Yes.
Less than 1 minute after the start of the second half, Liverpool were immediately level.
You see the reaction from
Sadio Mane. And then the Salah sets up Diogo Jota, saved by Ederson.
Solid save.
And then there was this chance. Of course, Gabriel Jesus pass. He wouldn't pass, decides to go for the shot. Blocked. And you could tell that City were furious at him.
Of course. I mean, this goal, of course, obviously was ruled out correctly
Sterling
for offside.
Was through on goal, finishes off. At that point, it looked like 3-1, but the VAR check indicated that Sterling was clearly offside. So goal chopped up back to 2-2. So this is where we are now. And then, in the 70th minute, Mohamed Salah cuts in, short, slight deflection of John Stones, and it goes wide. Then free kick, Riyad Mahrez just caresses the upright there. And then this chance at the end. Look at that.
How do you miss this?
Look at that. Riyad Mahrez chops inside, then tries to chip the goalkeeper. Or is he trying to go for the top corner? I'm not sure, but it was blocked. And the match ended 2-2. Then high fives here, high five there.
Yeah, of course. Two managers.
Mutual respect.
Yeah, of course, for each other. And I think currently they are two of the best in the business. The tactical know-how shown by the two managers was absolutely brilliant. It came down to the protagonists themselves, especially in the final attacking third. We all knew that Liverpool had the better finishers.
Yeah.
And it clearly showed on the day. They had fewer chances, and they took them. In the case of Man City, again, maybe an Aguero presence or an out-and-out striker today would have won them the game, especially in that first 25-30 minutes where they created a lot of goal-scoring opportunity, but yet still they couldn't finish off. I think we all enjoyed the game. Tactically, it was brilliant from the managers. And based on this result, I have no doubt the Man City will win the league.
Daniel, is that the same feeling you have?
Yeah, City will win the league, but they should have won this game. They should have, and I'm sure they will be more disappointed than Liverpool because it's a game of fine margins. They created glaring opportunities. If you're talking about the clarity of chances, City had clear-cut opportunities. They wasted them. Liverpool had their own, but if you are talking about the number of chances that City created, they honestly should have been long gone by halftime, and they'll be disappointed in themselves.
Okay, all right. Let's move it on to Italy now, where the Serie A title is heating up as well. Inter Milan, we'll show you two games from there. Inter Milan moved closer to AC Milan. They took on Verona. They won that game by 2-0. But Napoli lost grounds in the title chase after a shock 3-2 defeat at home to Fiorentina. Take a look. All right, AC Milan, their game concluded as well just a few minutes ago. They drew 0-0. And now the point difference between AC Milan and Inter Milan, it's 2 points. AC lead them by 2 points, but Inter Milan have a game in hand. Let me show you the full results from the Serie A this weekend as well. So there you go. So that AC Milan and Torino game ended 0-0, as I said. And then you look at that. So for me, I really can't get over that shock result involving Napoli. Didn't see that coming at all. Juventus won away to Cagliari. Lazio won away to Genoa. Atalanta, these days they are on a losing streak. Not sure what's going on with them. They lost away to Sassuolo as well. AS Roma also got a 2-1 win against Salernitana. Coach, quick thoughts on what's going on. I'm sure you watched the Napoli
Look,
game.
I did. It was fiercely.
That's a bit surprising.
It was fiercely contested. Look, every moment, you ask yourself, what exactly was Torino playing for? Maybe pride, because they made it extremely difficult for Milan. Milan hardly created any form of decent chances, and it resulted in going route one to Olivier Giroud, hoping that he would knock one down for the arriving player to put up. They tried and tried and tried. It just wouldn't go in for them. But I think that we all said at the
Last
start
weekend
of
was
the,
another draw, right?
yes, we all said at the end of the season that it would come down to this. Yes, at the beginning of the season, it would come down to this. And once we've gotten to this thing, you want to fancy Inter Milan because they've been there. They have the more experienced players. Lautaro Martinez, the Jekos, the
Skriniar, all of them.
They are used to
much
these
better
things.
squad.
They have a much better squad indeed. And I expect them to win the game in hand, then overtake Milan, and then see them
Go on and win the league.
go and win the league.
Interesting. All right. Let me take you to Spain. Barcelona were also in action. They won that game by 3-2. So Barcelona basically are back in second position now behind Real Madrid.
They give away three penalties for
Barcelona.
for Levante. They
Barcelona
scored
gave
two-
away 3 penalties.
Yeah, 3 penalties. Levante scored 2, missed 1.
And
then
Barca won 3.
those two very bad boys, the two small boys.
Pedri and
Yeah, they
Javi.
were on the bench, and then Xavi just made a double switch, and then everything just changed like
All
that.
right. We do have 2 games to show you from La Liga. The first one is Real Madrid. They won by 2-0. There it is against Getafe. And Daniel, I don't know if you saw this game, but this was basically a routine victory for Real Madrid.
Yeah, routine, very professional victory. And I would say it's very difficult for a team at this point in the season where you know that you are almost there, you've almost won the league. But you have to show up for games like this. So then you have to go out and be professional and get the result. So credit to Real Madrid. What I liked was the body language. They played like there was something at stake. When really there's really nothing. The attention should rather be more on the Champions League return leg against Chelsea. But they show their class, and that's, you see, when you have top class players, you know that the quality will come to bear at the end of the day.
His favorite player.
Yeah, Fede
Valverde.
Valverde. And you see, that is Real Madrid with quality. They have the likes of Valverde and Camavinga on the bench, and they will still get
number 1 on my team.
they still get the result. So it's a quality professional display. Well done to them. 3 points, and I think they're about 2 or 3 wins away from wrapping up the league title.
Yeah, they have a very comfortable lead at the top. Atletico Madrid not working for them after that really good performance against Man City. Mallorca did exactly the same thing to them. They scored and packed the bus for the rest of the match and won that game by 1-0. Baba Idrissi had an absolutely brilliant game as far as that one is concerned. Anyway, Atletico Madrid, I don't know, maybe we don't have that. All right, so let's move it on then. If we don't, let me show you the full results from La Liga, and then we'll see what happened there from the other scores. So there you go. So Mallorca beat Atletico 1-0. So Atletico are in 4th position, but they're only 1 point above the team in 5th place. So things not looking good for the Sevilla. 1-4-2 as well against Granada. Bob, Granada. As well. So there is that. And then Real Sociedad also winning away to Elche by 2-1. All right, let's move it on to Germany. Bayern Munich beat Augsburg 1-0. And then, of course, Stuttgart, they took on Dortmund and they lost that game 2-0. What it means is that Dortmund, if they don't win next week, or if they lose next weekend and Bayern Munich win, the the Bundesliga title could be won. Take a look at the 2 matches. All right, so Bayern won, Dortmund won, but it changed nothing. Bayern have a 9-point lead at the top. There are 5 games remaining. That's 15 points. Bayern win next weekend and Dortmund lose. The gap becomes 12 points with 12 points available. Bayern's goal difference is like 1,000 goals. So they basically could wrap up the league title by next weekend. Before we go, let's show you some boxing. Our very own Ghana's Emmanuel Gameboy Tego was in action against Ryan Garcia. He was returning to the arena for the first time in a long time. Garcia hadn't fought for 26 months, but he was dominant in this victory. All right. It wasn't close. Unanimous beating, coach. But he's walking away with $200,000 plus 30% of the TV revenue. So really, there's
no comment.
Yeah, no comment on it. All right, anyway, so in F1 as well, like I said, Charles Leclerc won. Of course, it wasn't a good day for Max Verstappen. He had to retire. Didn't finish the race. So it was quite bad. But his teammate Checo also got podium there as far as that's concerned. And George Russell, of course, got his first podium for Mercedes. That's our show for tonight. My name is Fentio Tahiru Fentio. Coach Christopher Nimley.
2 shout-out from Mr. Benjamin Apia, who came all the way from Cape Town. And then for Miss Esinum Akpabe Innocentia.
For the Roadshow.
She also came to the Roadshow.
Nice one. Good one.
PSA is Agonas Radio, is a journalist, colleague journalist.
Okay.
And then he's watching with his family, Joe Deji and Juliet Nakwa from Agonas Radio. So hello to them. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out to all of you. And for everyone that showed up at our Roadshow, we are very grateful. My name is Fentio Tahiru Fentio. Thanks for your time. Until next time. Bye-bye.